Dave HASLEY, baseball. Dave HASLEY became interested in officiating after listening to longtime IHSA official John Davis speak at a local Rotary meeting. His interest was piqued that day, and 48 years later he is not only still enjoying officiating, but has become one of the few officials in state history to work the state finals in 4 different sports. Dave has worked the state finals in baseball, football, boys basketball, and girls basketball during his decorated career. He has proudly represented the Galesburg area and West Central Officials Associations during his 11 total state final trips in the 4 sports. Dave resides in Abingdon and is retired from Walmart after a 30-year career working in the automotive dealership business. He is supported in officiating by his partner Kelly Quinn, his 5 children, and numerous grandchildren. Larry Barnett, boys basketball. Larry Barnett grew up with a passion for basketball and giving back to youth. Working in education, he held multiple roles and titles, including teacher, coach, and athletic director. In 1981, he added official to that list and is still one of the state's top basketball officials 43 years later. Larry has worked over 40 IHSA postseason basketball games thus far in his career, including 3 state finals and 2 state championship games. He is an IHSA clinician and a member of the IBCA Hall of Fame. Larry has been supported in officiating by his wife Carol and their children Kayla, Shia, Larry Jr., Dante, and Sean, along with 5 grandchildren. A resident of Maconda, Larry is retired as a principal, but continues to serve as a pastor at St. John Praise and Worship Center. A member of the Carbondale Elementary School District Hall of Fame, he has also authored 2 books, Decloaking the Holy Ghost and Leading While Bleeding. Brian REWERTS, girls basketball. Brian REWERTS loved playing sports in high school and was encouraged by a friend's father, multi-sport state final official Barry Pepper, to give officiating a try. He followed suit and completed his 30th year as a basketball and football official in 2022-23. A member of the Kewanee, Galesburg, and West Central Officials Associations, Brian received his first state series assignment in 1999 and went on to be selected to work the IHSA Girls Basketball State Finals in 2019 and 2022. Brian served 15 years on the IHSA March Madness Volunteer Committee and the Stark County School District Board of Education. He also officiates basketball and softball collegiately. Brian resides in Wyoming and is supported in officiating by his wife Katrina and their daughter Paige, who recently graduated from Stark County High School and will compete in cross country and track at Elmhurst University next year. Julie MATARELLI, cheerleading. When Julie MATARELLI stepped away from coaching cheerleading in the Edwardsville School District, she wanted to stay involved in the sport and decided to try her hand at officiating. She quickly ascended to become one of the state's top judges, and since licensing as an IHSA official in 2007, she has been selected to work the IHSA cheerleading state finals 13 times. Julie has also officiated on a sectional panel every year since 2008. And also judges for the Illinois Cheerleading Coaches Association. Julie and her husband Kevin reside in Edwardsville. Their son Grant currently attends Western Kentucky University, while daughter Hannah will be a senior at Edwardsville High School this fall. Julie and Kevin both work as educators in the Edwardsville School District, with Julie currently serving as the principal at Columbus Elementary, a National Blue Ribbon Award-winning school. Frederick PELLEY, cross country. In 1978, Fred PELLEY got involved in the Rockford Park District's summer youth programs. That commitment included some officiating duties, so he licensed as an IHSA official and is still going strong over 40 years later. Fred has worked numerous sectional meets during his career and was selected to serve as the Class 2A girls starter at the IHSA state meet in 2009. A member of the ITCCCA, Fred also officiates cross-country and track and field collegiate meets, as well as junior high meets for the IESA. Fred is retired and resides in Rockford with his wife Rebecca Ann. They have a daughter Samantha and a son Trent, along with 2 grandchildren. Fred is active in the Rockford area community and has been honored by the Episcopal Churches of Rockford, Labyrinth Society, and the Golden Apple Foundation. Cindy Albright, dance. Cindy Albright spent many years as a cheer and dance mom, so when her daughter's time competing came to a conclusion, she was ready to find a new way to give back to the sport that gave her so much. Cindy licensed as an IHSA cheer official in 2009 and began dance 3 years later. She has worked the IHSA dance state finals 10 times since, and has also served as the state scoring coordinator at state cheerleading every year since 2011. She is a proud member of IDOA, AIDA, and CCOI, and has judged cheerleading and dance in Iowa, Wisconsin, and Georgia as well. Cindy has also previously presented at the IHSA Officials Conference. Cindy resides in Antioch and works in data management systems for Warren Township High School in Gurnee. She and her husband of 34 years, Jim, have 3 daughters, Kristen, Kate, and Melissa, along with grandchildren Olive, Ivy, and Meraki. You'll find the Albrights boating and watching the Blackhawks in their free time. Jeffrey Conrad, football. Mr. Mullen, a high school teacher and coach, encouraged Jeff Conrad to follow in his footsteps and pursue officiating. Jeff followed suit and found that he excelled as an official while working intramural events as a student at Indiana University. In his 24 years as an IHSA official, Jeff's crew has worked nearly 70 IHSA playoff football games, including 5 state championship games. Jeff has also been at the forefront in officials recruitment through his efforts teaching the IACO new football officials class for 12 years, while also being involved in a number of educational initiatives. His service to the game and officiating vocation has resulted in numerous honors, including enshrinement in the AOA and the Big K Halls of Fame. Jeff resides in Bartlett and is a CPA and attorney who works as a tax partner for FGMK. He is supported in officiating by his wife Rhonda and his children and stepchildren, Devin, Megan, Morgan, Allison, Matthew, and Brittany. Jeff enjoys travel and scuba diving away from the gridiron. Brandon Tucker, boys gymnastics. Brandon Tucker credits gymnastics with helping to turn his life around, so after competing in the sport at the high school and collegiate levels, he wanted to give back as an IHSA official. Since licensing as an IHSA official in 2004, Brandon has worked sectionals in 12 different seasons and been part of the state final judging team on 7 different occasions, in addition to achieving clinician status. Brandon resides in Highland Park with his wife Nadia and their 3 children, Luca, Clara, and Luna. Brandon teaches science and engineering at Glenbrook South High School, where he also serves as the head boys gymnastics coach. He enjoys running, golf, and hockey in his free time. TERRI LACY, girls gymnastics. As a young educator, TERRI LACY turned to officiating in order to supplement her teaching salary. She was a coach in tennis and badminton, so she tried her hand at officiating gymnastics and swimming and diving, licensing in both sports in 1977. She says those officiating communities grew to become her family during their respective seasons. TERRI received her first sectional assignment in 1979 and has worked countless state series events in both sports since. She represents the Illinois Gymnastics Judges Association and Illinois Officials Association. TERRI resides in Crete and is the Dean of Students Emeritus at Bloom Trail High School in Chicago Heights. She currently works as the auditor for the Kenai Princess Hotel in Cooper Landing, Alaska during their summer season. As an educator, she has been named a Disney Teacher of the Year, been honored by the U.S. National Humanities Committees, and participated in a German teacher exchange program. William Santee, boys lacrosse. Umpiring slow-pitch men's softball led William Santee into the world of IHSA officiating as he met a basketball assigner and then a lacrosse assigner through softball, which eventually led him to license in both sports with the IHSA in 2008. Since that time, William has emerged as one of the state's top boys lacrosse officials. He has been assigned to work postseason contests every year since the IHSA State Series debuted in 2018, including working the state finals in 2021 and 2022. William is a member of GLLOA and also serves as an NILOA college lacrosse official. William resides in Downers Grove with his wife Kathy. They have 2 children, Courtney and Corey, as well as 4 grandchildren. William works as a service coordinator at Ingersoll Rand and enjoys camping, fishing, and spending time with his grandchildren in Pennsylvania. Noreen Rodriguez, girls lacrosse. Noreen Rodriguez's husband Fernando is a longtime IHSA official in multiple sports. In 2017, she was feeling ambitious and decided to join him as an IHSA official and hasn't looked back since. She is currently actively officiating lacrosse, basketball, and swimming and diving. Noreen has worked postseason contests in the IHSA Girls Lacrosse State Series each year since its inception, including working the state championship contest in 2022. She was named the Rookie Official of the Year in swimming and lacrosse in 2017 by her respective officials associations and also serves on the IHSA Officials Advisory Committee. She has also worked numerous IHSA swimming and diving sectionals. Noreen is a retired ultrasound technologist and resides in Arlington Heights. Noreen and Fernando have been married for over 30 years and officiate numerous basketball, field hockey, and lacrosse games together. Their 4 children include Alexis, Angela, Aaron, and Ian. Aaron coaches swimming at Lyons Township, while Ian has followed mom and dad into lacrosse officiating. Jim Cahill, softball. Jim Cahill was in the crowd for his daughter's volleyball game on a night when no officials showed up. That spurred the former athlete and lifelong sports fan to get involved and give back. He first licensed in basketball and softball in 1998 and then added volleyball a few years later. Jim was selected to work his first IHSA softball state final in 2012 and then made return trips in 2015 and 2019. A member of the Galesburg and West Central Officials Associations, he was inducted into the Illinois Softball Coaches Association Hall of Fame in 2020. Jim is retired after a lengthy career as an account executive with Comcast. He resides in Galesburg with his wife Gail. They are the proud parents of 3 daughters, Julie, Jennifer, and Jacqueline, and 3 grandchildren. For over 25 years, Jim has been behind the mic fronting his band, Jim Cahill's Country Revolution Band. Michael Moore, boys soccer. Michael Moore, boys soccer. Michael Moore is brutally honest about why he became an IHSA soccer official in 1999, the money. But he says the love of the sport is what keeps him coming back over 25 years later. Thus far in his decorated career, he has worked over 80 IHSA postseason matches, including 13 state finals. Michael is the president of the United Suburban Soccer Officials Association and also serves the IHSA as an IHSA clinician and as a post-IHSA advisory committee member. A resident of Park Ridge, Michael works for Publicis Sapient as a director of cloud solutions. He and his wife Heather have 2 teenage children, Ryan and Madeline. Michael credits his officiating friendships with John Anderson, Tom Rieger, Doug Neufeld, Hannah Schreiber, and Randy Brickman as being vital for him during his fight against cancer. Thomas Schaefer, girls soccer. For Thomas Schaefer, becoming an IHSA soccer official was an opportunity to give back to the sport he played as a youth and to the sport that brought his father to the United States from Germany as a professional player. Thomas has been assigned to work 8 IHSA soccer state finals, including serving as the head referee for the 2019 Class 2A Boys Championship match and the 2021 Class 1A Boys Championship match. He is a member of the Peoria area, Rockford area, United Suburban Soccer Officials, and Central Illinois Soccer Officials Associations. He has also served on the IHSA's advisory committee and officiates soccer for USSF. Thomas is retired as a traffic engineer at the Illinois Department of Transportation and resides in Ottawa. He has been supported in officiating by his wife Nancy and son Andrew. Nancy MYER, boys swimming and diving. Nancy MYER had 2 goals when she became an IHSA official. Number 1, she wanted to repay the sport for the personal lifetime benefits it provided her. Number 2, she wanted to provide a non-school female role model for young people in swimming and diving. Nancy has accomplished both for 35 years, including serving as a volunteer at the IHSA State Swim Meet for over 25 years. She has officiated numerous sectional meets, been a state dive panelist for over 20 years, and been a state dive referee and assistant starter at the state meet. She is a member of Illinois Swimming Officials Association, has served on the IHSA Advisory Committee, and also officiates for Special Olympics and U.S. Diving. Nancy and her spouse Bentley have been together for 47 years and have 2 children, Sarah and Andy, as well as 4 grandchildren. They reside in Geneva and enjoy travel and being active. Nancy has been a community volunteer for over 30 years and won a Spotlight in Service from the Secretary of State for her work in literacy tutoring. Paul BEIERSDORF, girls swimming and diving. Swimming has been a part of Paul BEIERSDORF's life for over 57 years. He says he can trace almost every aspect of his life back to his decision to try out for the New Trier East swim team in 1966. One of those decisions along the way was to become an IHSA official in 2010 after 33 years as a high school teacher and swim coach. Since then, he has been assigned to work 17 IHSA sectionals, with the 2023 IHSA Boys Swimming and Diving State Finals marking his 8th state final assignment. The Peoria native is a member of the Illinois Swimming Officials Association and served a term on the IHSA Swimming Advisory Committee. Paul has been supported throughout his career by his wife Connie and their children Lauren, Claire, and Ian, as well as 5 grandchildren. Despite being retired from his career in education, Paul continues to work part-time in the counseling department at Richwoods High School. Chuck Nagel, boys track and field. Chuck Nagel is a lifelong educator, and early on in his teaching career he saw a need for more track and field officials at schools in rural areas. He first licensed in 1982, and has increased time to officiating track and cross country over the past decade. A member of ITCCOA, Chuck served as the head field referee for the IHSA Boys State Finals in 2023 and was the state cross-country starter in 2A in 2021. He has also worked numerous IESA state meets, as well as meets for USATF and the NCAA. Chuck resides in Germantown Hills and has been supported in officiating by his spouse Kathy, daughters Libby and Kimmy, and grandchildren Kendall and Owen. He enjoys family time and following TCU football in retirement after a career in education that saw him rise to become superintendent of the East Peoria High School District and served 6 years on the IHSA Board of Directors, including time as board president. Pete Struck, girls track and field. Pete Struck spent over 30 years as a high school teacher and coach, and as his retirement loomed, officials Larry Rowland and Don Court helped recruit him to become an official. He first licensed as an official in 2002 and is now approaching 25 years as an IHSA track and field official. He has worked countless state series meets since then, serving as a starter and meet referee, including working the state track meets 6 times. He has been honored as an IHSA cross-country honorary meet referee and is also a member of the Illinois Track and Cross Country Coaches Hall of Fame. Pete taught high school mathematics for 33 years at Rich East and Sandburg High Schools, where he also coached cross-country, football, and track and field. The Tinley Park resident has been married to wife Karen for 51 years and has 4 children, Michael, Robert, Susan, and Sandra. He now leads the cheering section at the events of his 9 grandchildren. Matek Frotch, boys volleyball. When Matek Frotch's volleyball playing career came to an end, he was looking for a way to stay involved with the sport. He found that transition in officiating when he first licensed with the IHSA in 2009. 15 years later, he has risen to become one of the state's top volleyball officials. Matek received his first IHSA State Series assignment in 2011 and ascended to work the IHSA Boys Volleyball State Finals in 2015 and 2016. He has worked at least 1 round in the postseason every season since 2011 and added his 3rd state final assignment in 2022. In addition, he officiates collegiate volleyball for NCAA men's and women's matches ranging from Division I to Division III. A native of Poland, Matek resides in Gilbert's with his wife Katazina. He is self-employed and enjoys gardening, grilling, movies, and his dogs. Travis Pate, girls volleyball. Travis Pate started officiating rec league baseball and softball at the Park District in Greenville as a summer job when he was 13 years old. He found he had a passion and skill for officiating and was licensed by the IHSA as a 17-year-old senior in high school in 2001. Travis is now approaching 25 years as an IHSA official in volleyball, baseball, and softball, and has already been assigned to work the state finals in volleyball and softball. He received his first girls volleyball state assignment in 2017 and returned in 2019 and 2021, while also making a state softball trip in 2015. He is a certified IHSA clinician in both sports and has served a term on the IHSA Softball Advisory Committee. A member of the Southern Illinois Basketball Officials Association, Travis also officiates softball at the collegiate level and was previously named the IHSA Softball Official of the Year. A native of Greenville, Travis teaches U.S. History and Civics at Edwardsville High School. Away from officiating, he enjoys reading, fishing, hunting, and spending time with family and friends. He credits the mentorship of fellow official Stan Bruchot for helping him develop into the official he is today. Rick Marsh, water polo. Rick Marsh fell in with water polo while playing the sport in his youth, and like so many other officials, he turned to officiating as a way to give back when his playing days came to an end. Since licensing in 2002, Rick has been assigned to work the IHSA state finals in 8 separate seasons, in addition to serving as the state coordinator of officials on a dozen other occasions. He has participated in every state finals tournament since its inception in 2001 in some capacity. Rick's decorated career includes accolades such as the Illinois Water Polo Lifetime Achievement Award, U.S. Water Polo Volunteer of the Year, and enshrinement in the Illinois Water Polo Hall of Fame. Rick has spent his entire career in the hospitality industry and currently works as the Director of Sales and Marketing at the Westin Chicago Northwest. He and his wife Carmelita reside in Sugar Grove, and Rick has also been supported in officiating by his stepchildren Anna, Francis, and Angelo, along with 8 grandchildren. Kenneth Watkins, wrestling. While attending the IHSA dual state meet as a fan, Kenneth Watkins learned of the need for officials from a former coach. After hearing that the shortage could lead to programs being cut, he sprung into action. 30 years later, he continues to give back and is recognized as one of the state's top wrestling officials. All told, Kenneth has been selected to work 16 IHSA state finals thus far in his career, including 8 individual state tourneys and 8 dual-team state meets. He serves as an IHSA clinician and body fat tester who has volunteered his time on the IHSA Officials Advisory Committee. Additionally, he has officiated for or held leadership positions with the AAU, IESA, IKWF, NHSCA, USA, and the NCAA. A resident of Maywood, Kenneth is supported in officiating by his wife Marcella and their 3 daughters, Danielle, Talitha, Michaela, as well as son Xavier, and 6 total grand and great-grandchildren. Kenneth works as a freelance field service engineer and enterprise tech with Guardian Data Destruction.